New month, same story for the bulls. What is going on, everyone? Jerry Ritz here. Courage pays better than fear trading. Happy June 1st. Happy summer. Let's go. We have 21 trading days ahead of us to make marvelous, to make fantastic, and to capitalize on unlimited opportunities in the market. And I hope that you are able to do that here over the course of the next 30 days of June. And let's talk about markets and what's going on right now. S&P futures are up about 15 points. We're seeing several cloud companies, several AI companies up right now. MU has finally broken $1,000 in the pre-market. So looks like that milestone will carry over into regular market hours here in a short period of time at 9:30 a.m. So that's something that we've been waiting for and watching for on the channel. That looks like it's going to come to fruition. And the bulls are still in control of everything right now. And this morning, Tom Lee, the mega bull, perma bull, whatever you want to call him, of Fundstrat, people criticize him because they say that he is just bullish all the time, but the guy is spot on. And this morning he was on CNBC, he's on Squawk Box talking about his projection for what's going to happen. And I thought there were some interesting takeaways, and I wanted to talk about those here today. But he said that he sees 7,700 as the target before a legitimate pullback. And so we're getting close to that. We haven't hit 7,600 yet. Maybe we hit this week. And that from there, once 7,700 is hit, then what becomes possible at that point is a correction. And he's talking about a correction that could feel like a bear market. And he referenced how whenever the weakness started at the end of February through March, how that felt very dramatic. It's because everybody was so used to everything just running higher and higher and higher. But he says that there is the strong chance of, a correction, a pullback that could feel like a bear market. I thought it was interesting. He didn't say a bear market, but it is something worth paying attention to. Now, seasonality says that your midterm years are pretty weak, especially summertime through October, right? Those are your worst 6 months of the stock market. The best 6 months start in November. So that lines up with seasonality. And again, midterm years, the midterm election season tends to produce weakness. So his prediction is lining up with what seasonality says. So let's point that out. But then the other thing that I want to point out is he talked about how 2027, 2028, that these could be once in a lifetime opportunities in the markets for the wealth that can be created, for some of the moves that can happen in the stock market. And so that's something worth paying attention to. Yes, Tom Lee is a perma bull, but he's oftentimes right. And if he's saying these are once in a lifetime generational opportunities, you have to pay attention. So just putting that on your radar. Now, the one thing that he was called out about is his predictions on crypto markets, on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, what she said would have rallied. He called Bitcoin hitting 200,000 by the end of 2025. That didn't happen. He talked about Ethereum rallying. Now, we know that those things can happen very quickly. But what is interesting about this morning, at the time that I'm recording this, is Bitcoin is down about 1,400 points. And it is broken below the 100. It got rejected off the 200. And so it is now legitimately in danger of breaking down once again. And that little bounce that we had where it looked like we had a double bottom, that might just be a little relief bounce. And now we are going to head lower. So, there is just no strength, no continuity, no consistency and push in the crypto markets. And when is that going to change? When are we going to see that adjustment? Who knows? But the other thing to keep in mind, and I was sitting here thinking about it this morning on the drive, is that, hey, the broader markets are due for correction. S&P is due for a correction, right? Or not even a correction, a dip. I know we just had a correction, right? That's the other thing to keep in mind here. But could Bitcoin right now be telegraphing and forecasting what is coming in the markets, the drop that we're starting to get now? And do we see a break below the lows that came in February, which I think were around 62,000 on Bitcoin? Do we see that break and do we head lower into the 50s? Right? It's something to keep in mind. So just pay attention to Bitcoin. If we see more weakness come in, what that potentially could mean for the markets. And the other thing to keep in mind though too, is we've seen crypto rally, even though it's been down. It could have a $10,000 candle. It's just, right? That's what crypto does. That's what Bitcoin does, but it's something worth thinking about. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, June 1st, this is going to be a fun month. We have Broadcom earnings coming up on Wednesday. I will have an earnings preview for that, so stay tuned. Be patient. That will be coming. We're going to have MU earnings this month. I'll definitely have a video for that. We've got the SpaceX IPO coming on June 12th. I have a video that I'm working on right now. That'll be ready to go for Thursday evening latest. What else do we got coming up this month? We got the first Kevin Warsh press conference coming. We've got what else do we have? The $25,000 pattern day trading rule goes out the window this week. There's so much. There's lots and lots here in June. But more importantly, it is summertime. My kids are going to be home from school. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to getting that time in with them. Just enjoying my children. And I hope you guys who have kids out there get to do the same, right? We're going to get some adventures in, get some fun time. So definitely looking forward to that. So that's what I got for you here today on this episode of Driven. I hope you have a phenomenal day out there. Don't forget, I have a brand new swing trading course that is going to be announced tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. That is completely free. So hopefully you join me for that. And in the meantime, in between time, in this wonderful world, I know it's really sunny today, so I know the big glare on the screen, but it is what it is. Hopefully you catch those rays too your way. But make it a great day. Honor the moment, and most importantly, be grateful, everyone. Take care.